What's happening? Not a whole lot here. It's raining. You can hear it. It's in the building. It echoes. And you see, I got the truck in the background. You know, sitting all cozy and shit. But anyway, the thing we're gonna do today is I'm going to attempt to modify this case because it's been on my mind since I got it, to get rid of this fuzzy shit right here on the side. I've got, my girl bought me some drill bits for Christmas, this past Christmas, and we're going to see if we can modify this case to get rid of that problem. You know, it ain't gonna be, it shouldn't be too awfully noticeable, I hope, but we'll see. Alrighty, you can see the hole right there, and of course it doesn't seem to want to focus worth a shit. It's got this built-in screen protector. It's like the edge is just, it just comes a little shy of it or whatever. I don't know if I can put it on something dark and you might be able to see it better. I don't know. It's trying to focus, but it probably can't see it too good. Anyway, we got some drill bits here. It'll be the first time me using them. I'm gonna have to pull the drill out, of course, and I think it's, come on, damn it, open up. Yeah, I had it right the first time. This part there needs to open. And there we go, and of course I would open the shit up upside down. And you guys are all out of the shot, and I apologize. Now, thing is that what size do we think it probably should be? I'm gonna check into this first, and then I'll get back to you in a minute. Alrighty, well, I tried drilling it out, and you know, you can't, I wish it would fucking zoom or focus. I don't know why I keep saying zoom, but you know what I mean. But anyway, it doesn't want to, for some reason or another, there's a gap between it and the phone itself. Right where the hole itself is, like you can see, like a small tiny gap all the way around it. And you know, obviously I drilled it, and I drilled it clean. You can't even tell that I even drilled it, you know what I mean? So, and that's even with me, you know, I stepped the bit size up from let's see, what was it, the wee little guy of like 7/64 is what I think it was, and I stepped it up to a 532, which is, you know, there now, and that's, if it's pretty much dead on with whatever that hole right there is. The only difference is that this side's kind of got like a beveled edge, and that one's still got like a tiny beveled edge. So here's the second idea that I had. Take electrical tape, right? And I'm going to find a clean surface of some kind, run a piece of tape across it, and cut out little strips. And if I could take a strip, maybe even take 2 strips of it or whatever, and just lay it over where that hole is, and try to build it up on the backside, and then drill the hole through it. I'm thinking it might take care of the, I think what's happening is because it's got a gap, light is getting in behind it, and that's what's causing the fuzz. Because I didn't have any fuzz on the other side until I started drilling, so that's what told me, hey, you need to stop, and you need to look, and you know, try whatever. So, well, that's what I'm gonna do now. Well, boys, what y'all think? that's about the best that I'm gonna get it, because any farther than that, I'm gonna be fucked it up real bad. What I ended up having to do was the tape didn't fucking work. You know, it was a genuine idea. What I was going to do was take tape and I was going to run it on the back side of the cover and shit, right? Let me set you guys up. I don't even have the phone completely put back together, so let's just sit carefully right there for just a very short moment. I tried putting tape on the back side, and my plan was that I was going to take the drill and just slowly drill a hole in the tape. Well, it fucking turns out that the tape doesn't stick too good to the damn case, and it was just as oily as shit. And electrical tape is oily, you know, it's got oil on it in the glue or whatever. That's the reason why if you've ever gone to a junkyard and cut a wiring harness, or even on your own vehicle, if you were doing some auxiliary wiring, the tape from the factory, they use electrical tape on certain joints and spots to help try to keep the moisture out. Electrical tape is a piece of shit. Anybody who does car audio or stereo installations or you know, auxiliary lighting and shit like that will tell you not to use electrical tape. If you're going to do it, you know, there's kind of some controversy on whether you should solder your joints as far as the wiring, or if you should use connectors. I've done a little bit of both, and I think that using connectors is a lot easier than soldering. Not saying soldering is hard, it's just that soldering seems to be a little bit more time consuming. Most of all of my connections on the truck are done by butt connectors, or the insulated female and males. The butt connectors were insulated as well. They weren't none of that exposed bullshit. Now the problem is that you got to worry about corrosion. However, if you use, in my opinion, if you use heat sink over your connections, heat shrink, not heat sink. If you take, say you got two pieces of wire, and you've already put the heat shrink on one end, and you spliced your wire and you put it together and you put a connector on it. You slide the heat shrink over it and heat it up or whatever, it'll shrink around the ends and help keep the moisture out. I've done that many a times. If I had it, if I didn't have it, I just went on ahead and just put connectors on it, because it's not a big, huge, tremendous deal to rewire something if you have to. But anyway, that's beside the fucking point. Point is I worked on this case. The tape idea didn't work. So I ended up just taking, what size is it? That 3/16. Yeah, I stepped up one size bigger. I don't know if you can tell or not. It's got some little plastic shards on it. And I just kind of run it straight in and wallow the hole out. Apparently when the Encased designers made this case, they didn't realize that the plastic on the camera side seems to be a little bit thicker than it is on whatever little diode or whatever it is on this sensor of some kind is, or whatever. I'm thinking it's a sensor I'm sure it's something to do with the fucking letting you know if it's like auto dim, whether it's bright or low light or whatever. Anyway, I think that's what it is. Maybe infrared, I'm not sure. But the point is I drilled it out, and when I started drilling, I had fuzz on this side right here, whereas before I had fuzz on this side here. So that was telling me that I had a gap somewhere. But if I kept on drilling, then maybe I would be able to do it. Well, I tried drilling it, and I drilled it with a 9/64 bit, and it didn't work. So then I decided, okay, well, let me try to do something else with the tape. So I was actually precisely taking the roll of tape, wherever the fuck I put it at, was taking the tape, right, and taking a razor blade and just trimming off little pieces. And it's hot as balls in here. I should have my fan on, but you know, it was already noisy with the rain, which just didn't quit for the moment. Supposed to have a thunderstorm coming in, but I don't know. But I figured if I cut the tape into little pieces, that I could take it and outline around where the circle was for the camera, and that maybe it would block some of the light coming in. Well, genius me didn't think that if the more tape I put on, the farther it's going to push the camera lens away from the hole. Thus, I would get more of a shadowing, the fuzz effects on both sides. I said, you know what? All right, fuck this idea. I tore all the tape off. I grabbed that bit. Well, I said it was a 3/16. Yeah, a 3/16 bit. Drilled it straight in. Put it back on, tested it, see how it works. Noticed that some of the fuzz was starting to go away. And then I started wallowing out the holes. I was kind of like holding it at an angle and walking it all the way around to try to give it somewhat of a beveled edge. Now, if you get right up on it, yes, you can tell I've drilled the hole. But I'd rather it look a little shitty around the hole than to be a lot of fuzz around the damn shit. And if you notice, the only fuzz I have now was like right here up in this corner and like right here in this corner, and it's very faint. I mean, you can barely tell, at least I can tell, barely tell anyway. Let me slap this case back together and we'll talk about some other shit. Well, I got it back together and now I can barely tell there's any fuzz at all. Because I think when you put the rubber piece on, it kind of, as you put it on, it pulls the plastic even farther to the camera itself, so it sandwiches in. Like I said, I love the case. It's a hell of a lot nicer than the OtterBox, but I mean, you know, I had to modify that right there. So if you get one of these encased covers or cases for your Galaxy S5, you are automatically going to, well, I'm not going to say everybody because they may not have gotten the same exact kind I did. And or if they did, they may not have had to do any modifying. But if you have this problem, do what I did. All you got to do is get you a 9/16. Yeah, let me make sure I'm right. Nope. I'm wrong. A 3/16 bit. Take your camera out of the case and drill a hole straight in. And then once you've done that, you know, blow off all the little shivers of plastic. That way you can see what you're doing, and just slowly drill and, you know, hold it at like maybe like a 45 all the way around. If you've got a Dremel tool, you may be able to just drill the hole with that bit and then take you a what is it, that beveled sander, you know, the little stone looking one that's got the pointed, sort of like a blunted pointed end, and just, you know, put it on low speed and just sit it right in the center and just turn it one time, and it'll probably, you know, get all the rough edges and shit out. I've got a Dremel somewhere. You know, I've got the damn charger and shit here, right? Well, I've got the Dremel somewhere around here. I don't know where it's at. It's put up in some of my shit somewhere, I imagine. And I've got all kinds of bits and stuff. I don't know where the hell it's at. I haven't seen it in a minute. I've been thinking about getting a new one, but, you know, hey, what's the point if I've already got one? It's not the top of my priority list at the moment. Shit. I don't feel like I've gotten nothing done today at all, you know. So I put the truck in here last night, locked everything down and called it a night. went and uploaded last night's video to go ahead and get it up and out of the way, because I was already somewhat of a day behind anyhow. And went and fixed, I think I got all of them. I went and fixed my annotations and the option of cards or whatever. Cards is the little, you see the little, you may not see it on everybody's video, but it's like a little circular icon in the right upper corner, and it's got I think it's an exclamation point or something in the middle of it, and you click it and it opens up a video that you might could watch next, or someone's channel or a website, or a product list that they might have, like a store with shit in it they want to sell or is selling. Got a video coming up here soon that I want to do in regards to changing a fog light bulb on my mom's car. Some have said it's very hard to do. Some have said it's very easy to do. And I went and bought her well, actually she bought the bulb. I found the bulb for her because she didn't know what size it was. Got that, and got to put some windshield wipers on her car. Kind of shitty at the point that she's having to drive with rain the way it's raining on a night like tonight with bad wipers. But hopefully, she can manage to get here and then not have to leave or whatever until next weekend so much. Right before she started having pain in her hips and stuff like that or whatever, and she had cut her hours back from basically working like a 5-day week, a 5-day work week, to like a 2-day work week. And we're talking 8-hour shifts for 5 days a week. And now she pretty much does 2 doubles on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday, to try to limit some of that pain down or whatever. About the same time, just not as many days. And she done that because she was in pain, obviously. Pain due to having hip problems and stuff. She ended up having to have a complete hip replacement in her right leg because she was walking with a limp real bad, and pretty much you've got, do I even have anything up here that I can represent or whatever? I don't think I do. Yeah, we do. Probably not the best representation, but it'll have to work. Okay. Most of you know what this guy, what this guy is. It's a swivel attachment or whatever. You've got that joint right there that moves that way, and then you've got this joint here that moves this way. Well, let's say that this is your hip joint, and obviously the top of the joint itself is going to be your leg, and you're going to have a ball on the end of it. This may be a better representation here because it's round. Well, it fits into the socket, and as you walk or whatever, you have movement of your whole leg, right? Well, imagine the ball being this particular item here, and it fitting into the socket or whatever. Well, let's just say the joint was so deteriorated or whatever, it was pretty much like, well, we'll use this little itty bitty baby breaker bar for example. Your leg bone, the joint would be here, so it would be pretty much like this, like so, right? Socket, ball, and you move your leg around. Well, her joint was gone, pretty much gone. So all she was walking with was just a straight bone pretty much, with very, very little bit of a joint left at the top. And, you know, it had play in it, and, you know, it was loose, and she was, you know, walking with a limp. Like I said, that's probably not the best representation, but you get the point. Oh shit. Yeah, that was all the tape that I had trying to go around it or whatever, and it's all smushed and shit up together now. But anyway, arthritis is a bitch. I've got it in this knuckle right here. So I can't even pop this joint. It hurts so bad sometimes. And I know what it's like. I can only imagine what it would be like in your damn hip. You know what I mean? But yeah, she had that surgery. And, you know, to my surprise, after she had it, she was pretty much going back to work 2 weeks thereafter. You know, and that was a major shocker. Because most people try to milk that shit. But, you know, we're the kind of people that we can't afford to fuck around. You know what I mean? You know, you got to get shit done. And you got bills to pay, and you can't lay around on your dead ass and not do nothing. And that's just the truth. That's why I don't understand how come so many people in this country don't want to work. How come they'd rather sit around with and suck on the government tit and fuck up. Just fuck up. Fuck around. I kind of like working for my own shit. I don't want somebody to give it to me. Now, I mean, money is great. Money can help you do many things and get lots of stuff done. But money, honestly, it doesn't buy happiness. Happiness comes from achievement. Achieving your goals. To seek out and accomplish what others said you could not. So rather than sit around and wait for somebody to give it to you, why not get out and go bust your ass and get it yourself? You know what I'm saying? That's like, with my situation. I called Friday. The lady wasn't there. And, I just found it kind of convenient that she wasn't there. I mean, hey, fuck it. If she took the day off, she took the day off. There's nothing that I can do about it. But best believe come tomorrow, which is Monday, around lunchtime, I'm going to call. And I'm going to ask whether or not she spoke to him or not. And I hope she doesn't brush me to the side, because if she does, well, I'm going to go ask him myself. So there could be a couple things that may or may not happen tomorrow. One, she has or will talk to him, which she's supposed to have done like 3 weeks ago now. And either yes, I do have the job, or no, I don't have the job. And it's real simple, it's real simple. Yes or no. If it's no, then that gives me the door of opportunity to, yes, keep the same job I have, but look for something better. Because I just seen an ad a few days ago that was talking about starting, day shift? Day shift and night shift forklift drivers were needed. Day shift made like $10.45 starting off. And night shift started at like $10.70. Man, are you telling me that let's just say if a company or whatever were to buy that property straight across the street from my house, which is commercial property, and they said any forklift drivers needed or whatever, And with me having like 9 years of experience on like 5 different kinds of forklifts, whether it be LP, electric, or gas powered now, single mass, single fork, one tier through 4 tier, single fork, double fork, a forklift with what they call the tie guard claw attachment on the front of it, which is just a big grapple that, you know, it rides along a rail straight, you know, forwards and backwards, and you have the attachment on the front, and it can pick up stuff and move it and set it somewhere else. Yeah, they make that kind that can come and pick up, like, say it had like a pallet of boxes on one side. You can pick that whole shit up and rotate it all the way around and set it on the other side. I could do that, you know. Yeah, best believe I'd be knocking on the door and be like, hey, I'm your man. You know what I'm saying? A whole lot of shit I can do for $10.70 an hour versus my $9 right now and my $9.95 when I was working for Pepsi. But yeah, I mean, it could be a yes or no, or it could be she tells me that she has not spoke to him, and if I ask, oh well, when do you plan on doing it, being that you've had 3 weeks now, and she tells me, oh well, I'm gonna do it sometime this week or whatever, like, oh well, don't worry about it, I'll just go ask her myself. And if I go up there and I say, hey, you know, boss man, this is a situation, you know, I've got, you know, I don't have a guaranteed job. I can't buy a car. I don't have any benefits. I've been here a year, and I need to do something. You know, I need to make a move. You know, so can you work with me, or what's the plan? Because if he tells me that he can't work with me, I'm gonna say, well, okay, well, just let me work here long enough. Let me work here until I can find something else. And if he says no, then I may be out of a job. But I don't think he's that kind of person. So we're going to see. Either way, I'm not too worried about it. The reason being is because this pile of metal behind me is paid for. And I've made it before. I've went as long as 2.5 years without a job, and I made it. I don't know how, but I made it. And believe me, it wasn't because my mama was paying for every damn thing I had, because she wasn't. She couldn't afford to. Just because me and her live together don't mean that, you know, I don't help her out, and she don't help me out when I need it. For example, today alone, our kitchen light for the last 2 years has been a pile of shit. It's been one to the point of where it would, you know, sometimes it would come on and sometimes it wouldn't. You have to sit there and flip the switch back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then finally maybe it might come on, or it might halfway come on. It was one of those like 42-inch fluorescent ones. And, you know, I didn't bought bulbs for it twice, right? Within a year's time. I said, you know what, the hell with this pile of shit. So I went to Lowe's and I found an LED light, circular, like 15 inches. So, you know, pretty decent size. My old lady helped me, thank you. Now, because I know she'll be watching this, so, you know, I gotta give her credit. She did help. And got up there and, you know, unscrewed the bulbs, pulled them down, took the little cover off the middle, took it down, undid 4 screws, exposed the 2 wires that were up there, undid the wire nuts, dropped the whole lamp assembly down, opened the new box, the new light up, it was still in the box, opened it up, pulled all this shit out, read the instructions. They said, okay, well, you got to disconnect such, you put one half to the side, you take the other half, you put it up there, you wire up what you got to wire up, you put 2 screws in, you push it up there, then you twist it, and once you lock it in, you tighten the 2 screws down. The light itself had a connector. You connect it together, you put it up there, you turn it like counterclockwise, and ta-da, you fucking done. You know what I mean? And it lights up the kitchen just as bright as the other one did, and will last 10 times longer. We're talking, what's the average lifespan of a fluorescent bulb? These in here are fluorescent. And so far so good. Knock on wood, they haven't given me a problem. Well, I can't remember what the average lifespan of a fluorescent bulb is, and it's not the point. But the LED one has got like a 35,000 hour lifespan. So it would take, like, my old lady did the math on it or whatever, it would take almost 24 years for it to go bad. Yeah, 24 years. So that's that in a nutshell. I don't really have nothing else to talk about. I'm just hoping that everything goes smooth this week. Probably next weekend will probably be, well, actually it'll be sometime during this week, hopefully, that I can get her car in here and do the fog light change and throw them windshield wipers on. And I've got some bills I got to pay myself, so I'm gonna be kind of broke this week, especially after paying for that light. But I mean, hey, I sold an old cell phone I had, so I figured, hey, I might as well splurge and spend a little money on the house. So I went on ahead and done that, and it was the first thing right off gate this weekend. Decided it wanted to give me shit, so I said, you know what, it's time for it to go. That's the deal. But yeah, coming up this week is going to be getting her car in here and doing it. I may pull this in and do some work to it. I don't know yet. Just have to wait and see how everything pans out. But that's today's story, and I'm sticking to it. You might as well subscribe if you haven't already. Please leave a comment, let me know what you think. And until tomorrow, stay groovy.